I'm Bob Lacey. Change my mind. So here is I've mentioned this once or twice before, but I saw another TV commercial, and it makes me feel that I'm 100% right. Men are being presented on television commercials as helpless idiots, and I'll give you the example. The commercial. I hope you've seen it. There's a father. He's about 35 years old. He's got his shoes and socks off. He's got his feet up on a little coffee table. His daughter, for some strange reason, is sitting there next to her father on the floor, like 3 feet from his feet. And she looks over at his big toe and goes, "Dad, what is that? What is that on your toe?" And he says, "Oh, that's nothing." And then a woman who's a doctor, middle aged with a white coat, is cut in, and she says, "No, that's something. That is an infection." Back to the little girl. "Dad, your toe is disgusting." And he says, "Oh, it'll go away." Back to the doctor. Doctor says, "No, it won't go away. It has to be treated because, as I said, it's an infection." Back to the little girl, who once again is still there in a very odd position next to her father's feet, and says, "That I can't even look at your toe, Mom." So here's what we have. We have a guy that is such a nincompoop that he cannot figure out how or why he should treat a bacterial infection in his big toe, which looks disgusting. His own 8-year-old daughter has pointed it out. But what do we have to do to really get him over to that lady doctor? Mom! Mom has to be called in and say, "Gary, I'm making an appointment for you because you're too pathetic and stupid to take your own feet to the podiatrist and get treated for a fungus." This is what we've become. First of all, who sits there with his feet next to his daughter's face, especially a foot with fungus?
Well, if I had my foot there first, she sat down. That's her business.
No.
I am in no
No.
way defending this really, really big stretch of plausibility for this, but let me just say, as a wife, a lot of times we do have to kind of browbeat y'all into.
This sounds, I hate to say it, but this sounds about right. I mean,
sounds about right.
You know,
Not you, Bob, but others have to be bullied and browbeaten into getting medical attention. Sometimes.
Here's the first thing a guy thinks. Well, I can still walk on it. I can get my shoe on.
Yeah, that's true.
Now,
You know,
if
that's
I
true.
can't get my shoe on, now we got a problem, you know? And then I'm going to try a couple of different home remedies and see what I can get done about it.
Yeah, like I'm going to put some Listerine on it. I'm going to give it some time.
Irish potato.
Here's what you have to do to change my mind. The name of the feature is Change My Mind. Why was the commercial just not, oh, what is this on my foot? Honey, I seem to have something on my foot. What should I do? Yeah, let me make an appointment for you to go to the doctor. Oh, okay, that's not. No, he keeps sitting there pushing his feet in his disgusting big toe in his little daughter's face. This is not what real men should do. Change my mind.
I don't disagree with you.
Because I don't.
It's so wrong. It's so wrong.
I can't change your mind. I completely agree with you. This is not how civilized people should behave.
Thank you. Well, then it's up to the audience. You know, up to the audience. 844-52 SHERI. 844-52 Sheri. Change my mind on my saying that commercials now are not all of them, but many of them presenting guys as complete idiots. Let's take the progressive people. Who's the dumbass in the progressive commercials? Who's the dumbass? Jamie. Jamie's the dumbass.
He's getting the last laugh. I just want to point
as an actor, yeah.
I want to point something out to you so that you're ready for it and it doesn't come as a terrible surprise. People are going to call 844-52 Sheri. but they're not going to call about whether or not commercials make men look dumb. They're going to call and tell you about daddy's foot fungus, and it's going to be a whole nightmare for you that's going to go on and on and on. I just have a feeling, sometimes, remember when we talked about putting peanut butter sandwiches in chili, and
Oh my God,
that took
yeah.
over our lives for like a
Yeah.
month.
Are you saying foot fungus is going to take over our lives? Oh my
We're
God.
going to be getting calls like my pawpaw Bob. His foot, he had a foot, looked like a salamander foot. I mean, we're going to get some really rough stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, can we forward those calls to his cell?
Yeah, because you know how he is. Bob is a very, I'm not sure what the word is, but he doesn't like Dr. Pimple Popper. He doesn't want to talk about or think about like your gross medical maladies, but he just basically asked the world to ring in and talk about this, and it's going to happen.
That's not what I want. If you want to comment on it, I want to hear the comment about men are all dumbasses on TV commercials now.
Bring whatever you drink and celebrate Happy Hour Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern live on the Bob and Sheri Facebook page.
If you're just joining us today, welcome. Appreciate your listening to the Bob and Sheri Show with Lamar, Max, and Doc. And Bob is very bothered by, and I think rightfully so, that TV commercial where Dad doesn't seem to understand that he has a foot fungus, right? Very, very upsetting. And the thing is, sometimes men don't want to go to the doctor. They just want to fix things for themselves. And I know a woman whose husband had the foot thing, and he read on the internet that Listerine was a cure. So every night while they were watching TV, he would have his foot in a little bucket of Listerine.
He ain't getting lucky later after the movie.
I was just going to say, this is what his wife, I was like, oh my God, that sounds really terrible. Because, Listerine has a real smell, like a real Listerine smell.
It's strong.
She, and I said, has it worked for his foot? She said, it hasn't worked on his foot and it hasn't worked his foreplay. And I just about spit my drink out. Because
if you're going to do that,
you got to marriage.
Do it privately.
That is marriage.
You have to do it privately, though. And I know if I were that guy and I was buying into the foot fungus Listerine treatment, I would have to get like some little bowl and go out behind the garage
exactly.
and then just stand there for a while. It doesn't matter how cold or how hot. You cannot do something like that in front of the woman you go to bed with.
Here's what I would do. And I would do this as a woman or as a man. I'd be like, I've got to soak it for 20 minutes. I would excuse myself to the bathroom and play a game on my phone for 20 minutes while I did the soaking. There is not a world in which I've got my Listerine bucket in the living room while we're watching Beckham on Netflix, okay?
I can't do that, though. I can't do that because my wife, she has a private eye license. My wife is very aware of everything that's going on, including me. And if I'm gone all of a sudden and I'm in the bathroom for 20 minutes, she's going to say, is everything okay, Bob? And I'm going, yes, everything is okay in here. I don't have my foot in a dish or anything. It's fine.
Listen.
I got to go behind the garage.
This same man who tried the Listerine treatment. And by the way, I don't know a lot about your foot fungus, but it does seem that it's difficult to treat and it takes a really long time, even with your book learned in medicine. Okay. This same man, when that didn't work, also read on the internet that fresh garlic was an option. So he took a garlic clove and peeled it and kind of smashed it a little bit and then duct taped it around.
No, he did not. You're making this up.
No, who could make this up? What kind of sick mother could make this up? So he would duct tape the crushed garlic clove to his foot and then put the sock back on so the heat would activate the garlic. And let me tell you something. garlic repels vampires and his wife. That also.
That's right. Oh my God, are they still married? That's a lot for a woman to put up with, I have to say.
Yeah, she's still.
Wow.
Here's why they're still married. Here's the secret to why they're still married. They had already been married for probably 12 or 13 years before old Garlic Foot stomped into the living room. This is not something you can do when you're courting, and this is not something you can do as a newlywed. You've got to have a life together that is difficult to unwind before you duct tape a garlic clove to your foot.
You know what you have to do?
Hell yeah.
You know what you have to do if you're going to duct tape garlic to your toe, and you have to say to yourself, what's the likelihood of her leaving? What are my chances of still keeping her here if I duct tape garlic to my toe and then put it in Listerine?
He was so offended that she was bothered. He was like, I am trying natural cures that will save us money.
And once she's seen that, it cannot be unseen. That's the other thing.
That's the thing, Bob. Even if she lives to be 100, let's say she lives to be 100, and all of her memories kind of float away. She will remember her 4th birthday party and her husband duct taping garlic to his foot. Those will be the two things she holds.
The two things that cannot be unseen, and you must. That's why I say go behind the garage, guys.
So listen, you guys, the next time like Mary or Carla, maybe they find a little fault with you, as unlikely as that would be. Just point out to them that there are men duct taping garlic to their feet, and they should be thankful that they're married to you.
Yeah, that ought to do it, huh, Lamar? That'll put us right over the top.
I'm gonna keep that in my hip pocket. I'm gonna keep that in my hip pocket just in case I need it.
That's right.